This
Oh,
conference will now be recorded.
yeah, Rajshekar. So to introduce about myself, right? So my name is Anil, and from past 11 plus years, I've been into ETL space. Early of my career, I worked on Teradata, Oracle, SQL Server, and Informatica. And later I worked on other databases like data lake and econvert. Okay, there I mean, I have good expertise in a lot of ETL tools and databases as well. um, Give me a second. Okay, and from past 11 plus years, I've been executing various data warehousing projects and data migration projects. Okay, and from past 5 plus years, I've been into Snowflake and been I've executed various projects and migrated various data from other platforms to Snowflake in these past recent 5 years, right? So I also teach students in my free time. I work for an organizations. So that's pretty much about me. I'm basically from Visakhapatnam, and ever since I joined IT, I've been staying in Hyderabad only. So that's all pretty much about me. I would like to know about you as well, Rajshekhar, so that I will better plan this session, plan this demo, and also like I want to know like your interest on Snowflake, and how did you get to know about this tool, and like what are you currently working on, and like where are you from? So I just need those details, so we can have we can plan this session in a very better way. Over to you, Rashik.
Yeah, sure, Anil. Yeah. Thank you for that introduction, person. Yeah, myself is I have 6.5 years experience in IT and
Mm-hmm.
presently work in Accenture. And I worked in identity access management tools
Okay.
in
Okay.
6.5 years. And apart from this, I used to work on the databases like SQL
Oh,
servers
nice.
to
Mm-hmm.
export the queries and to generate the reports. Just I got to
Mm-hmm.
know this Snowfield is like a cloud computing, right? So
Cloud,
in
yeah.
the
Cloud data warehouse. Mm-hmm.
between this like SQL and this one, the SQL is need to run that in hardware and need to
Mm-hmm.
install in perfect in Windows either wherever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it is no, as a cloud base we need to uh, uh, coming to our environments infrastructure are coming cloud based, right? So I want to learn this cloud based cloud computing
Mm-hmm.
thing. I just
Mm-hmm.
to go to the Goutham status.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
just need to
Okay.
learn, see the how the tool is working, how the we need to integrate with
Mm-hmm.
the other platforms.
Okay.
Just
Okay. So you're still working on IAM related technologies?
yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, good that you have some exposure to data and SQL, and know you also knew about what's cloud and all those things. Did you get a chance to write some SQLs anytime? Did you write to view data in the tables and all those things? Have you ever done those
Yeah,
kind
we
of
have a
activities?
yes, Anil. We have a, some sample templates like which they given by the seniors, and I also build some small queries, not large complex
Okay.
queries.
Okay. Okay.
I know the
Yeah, but
basic queries, just like how to. That's it.
okay.
Like I don't know that
Okay.
how the complex. If you need to work on the complex, though, I need to get into learn more.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. So again, like, have you heard about these terms, data warehousing and ETL and all those things?
Yeah, like Informatica, right?
Yeah,
Inform.
Informatica is an ETL tool. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about things, but I
Yeah.
never
So at least
get a chance to.
I mean, have you heard about it? Is that something that I want to know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I heard about this
yeah.
one. My colleagues are there, like my friends are there in informatica tool, but I didn't get a chance to know that how the tool working environment.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So where are you from, Rajshekar?
I am from AP, I mean, like, yeah, Karnool, and
Kannur. Yeah.
base location, then base location is Bangalore.
Oh,
Presently working from
you're
Karnool.
from okay. You're based out of Bangalore. Okay. Okay, that's it. Like, yeah, we can kickstart. Rashikar, thanks for all that information. I'll try to go as basic as possible and see if I can create some kind of interest around this particular topic, right? So let me quickly share my screen. Okay. Okay. Let me know if it is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Okay, l- so before I step on to what is Snowflake and all the other things, right, Rajshekar? So I would like to give some details about like what is database and what is data warehouse, right? So as you have some knowledge on like what is database, right? Database is a collection of data, right? In the early olden days, people used to maintain the registers to store all the data, right? They used to write it on some records. Say if you take some kind of office, there would be an accountants where they used to write the salaries, what is going out of the organization and what is coming into the organization, like what are the products they are selling, and how much revenue they were generating, those type of numbers and dates, everything they used to maintain in some ruler books, right? And also the amount they are spending to the employees as salaries, and in buying the raw materials, those are also maintained. So if you have observed it, like they used to maintain those books for years and years, because if at all they want to uh, get into any data, right, any data of any previous years, they can easily go to that book and they can get into that particular they can go to that particular month and see like what is the expenses and what is the income they have got and that particular months. So right, so that's how, right, that is the power of data, right? Uh, once you store it at one place, it would give you some trends. It would allow you to go back and check like what happened at that particular time, so that you can take better decisions out of what is available there, right? So but moving on, what happened, right? So the physical forms had its own problems, right? If you store data in some books or some some places, there are there is a problem that it might that be due to natural calamities or any other circumstances, the data might get wiped off or might get burned off, might get disturbed, right? So and also when it is in the physical form, it is not accessible to everyone, right? So only the accountant can have the access to that data, and not if at all somebody else, even if CEO wants that particular data, he has to come to that particular location and get that particular book, right? And see, traverse through those pages and look for the data. So it has been become difficult when data is in physical format. That's how, right, computers, when computers are introduced, the database term is introduced, where you store the data logically and virtually within the databases, right? So yep. So if you have seen, I mean, I think you have worked on the tables, right? So a table will consist of rows and columns, where you could store the employee records, just like how you are storing it on a book. You can store it in inside a table within a database, right? So that is what a database is. It's a collection of data. It could be an employee's data, it could be a sales data, or it could be any dates data, or it could be of any location related data, right? Collection of data is called as a database. Whereas coming to the data warehouse, so after after the particular problem of the data being stored in a physical form is replaced with a database, and when data is accessible from any place, and data is stored in a much secure way, so there comes the other needs, like how can I draw some results out of this data that I am storing. So I have employee data, I have sales data, I have products data, but how can I draw some how can I build some reports on top of the data, so that I can take better decisions on my business, right? So that means right so if I am running a business where I'm selling some products, okay, so if I want to know in a particular month at a particular location what is the sales of the product, okay, and and whether it is high or low, and what particular month the sales is low, and what so if I get to know this, when the sales is low, when the sales is high, if I get to know this information, and at what particular reason the sales are high, at what particular reason, because in Bangalore it might be doing well, but in Hyderabad it is not doing well, right? The products are not selling off in a huge number. If I get to know all this information, what I can do is I can actually take better decisions. So what should I do? So if a product is doing good in Bangalore and not doing good in not being good in Hyderabad, so what should I do? Like whether I have to give some offer on that product so that the sales will be bumped off, or am I not understanding the audience of Hyderabad, right? Who are buying the product? Who are my competitors, right? Because of which my product's revenue is low, right? So I can get to know all that information. So I can better plan my business. I can club it with some offers, and I can sell the product and I can increase the sales, right? That is the power of data, right? So when I talk about database, it is particular to only one particular area, right? But in order to take wise decisions, I need data to be collected from different places, right? I need to collect market. See, if I want to know who is my competitor, I don't have that information in my database, because this date whatever information I have in my database is only related to my area, my organization. So I need some clients data, or data from the market, and I need some data from from other regions, right? So maybe I am running business in Australia and England, yeah, and in India. So I need to get that information as well. I mean data from different regions as well. And some data I might be storing in Excels at some places, right? And some data I might be storing in a database. So there are like lot of places my data resides in. So if I mean, until I get unite all those data at one single place, I really can't make some reports on top of that data, and build some take some decisions out of those reports. So there comes the word data warehouse. Data warehouse is a collection of databases, right? It's here database is a single term, and data warehouses is the collection of databases, collection of data from different places, and we are storing it in an organized way within a data warehouse. So uh, so when you I mean, once the data is stored in a data warehouse, you could build some reports on top of it, and you can take some wise decisions on top of those reports. So that's the basic definition of data warehouse and database. So why I have right given you this introduction is, a Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Okay, so okay, so the you see, we are solving the problems in chunks, right? Firstly, we were able to remove the physical form of data into an virtual form and made it accessible to everyone and made it more secure, right? And then to take wise decisions, we have built some data warehouses, collected from different places. And the problem is not solved yet, right? So it is able to, like, this particular data warehouse is able to give us some reports, where we can take decisions. But it is there are some particular problems, which is not being handled within, on premises data warehouse also. When I say on premises data warehouse, so you build a server. See, data for data warehouse as well, it has to be sitting on some particular server, some particular memory, right? So you build your own server. You have bought your own server, a high configuration server, and you have bought your own high configuration memory, and you have built, and you have bought some softwares like Teradata or Oracle or SQL Server. You have installed in it, and you connected to different systems through ODBC and JDBC, and you have collected data and stored it in data warehouse, right? So uh, but the problem, I mean, you have collected data from different sources, and you have built the data warehouse. Still the problem is not solved, because, right, tomorrow, right, as you are collecting data from like various sources, tomorrow you may not uh, if your data grows exponentially, right? So from 5 GB on first day, you have like 5 GB of data, right? After 1 year, you have like 50 GB of data, right? After 2 years, it is growing because you don't delete. So data warehouse concept is, you don't delete it once the particular record is there within the system. You don't delete it because you want to see the history of the data also. Like, you want to go back to 2009 or like 1900 and see what happened at that particular time, right? So you will not delete any records within the data warehouses. So the data will continuously grow on, and at some point of time you would run out of your system configuration, right? You might need better processor, you might need better memory. But what happens, like, if you want to increase those add those configurations within the particular data warehouse, what happens, right? You have to, like, form some kind of a clusters, right? And you have to restart the nodes. So in that time, right, the users, when you are doing those maintenance activities, the data is not available to the users, right? Because you are restarting the system, you are doing some changes, and this you might have to do it. And when you are installing the security patches, every time you have to shut down the services for some time. So I mean, definitely it is a big loss for a business. Like, data is not available and it is not scalable, right? The system configurations are not scalable at any point of time. So there comes, right, there, like, people thought there needs to be I mean, it still needs to be evolved. That's how, right, the cloud data platforms has been evolved, right? So we discussed all these points just now, right? If you see, on premises enterprise data warehouse is the one which we talked about right now, right? You bought your own server, you bought your own memory, and you have built a data warehouse on top of it, right? So it is able to, like, it is a SQL database. It could able to solve your questions, it could able to give your reports. But it is not, I mean, it is not supporting uh, it is not giving a support for all the users means, like there, see, your data might be used by multiple people, but the business might be using it for taking some decisions out of it. The data scientist might be using it, to draw some trends out of your data and do some analytics, right? Other tools might be consuming data from your data warehouse. So there are a lot of users who will actually consume the data from your data warehouse right now, because you have limited system configuration and limited uh, things on your, on your server. It will not be able to solve the it will not be able to satisfy all the users. Like, definitely, a data scientist who is writing machine learning algorithms and all those things will not be able to, like, query the data in a faster way, right? So that is what it is missing on premises data warehouse. And also, on premises data warehouses doesn't support all types of data, right? So let me spend some time on what I mean by all types of data, right? So right now, Rajshekar, if you see, the data is coming in different formats in the market, right? It's not always the tables, that we talk about. Data is not always stored in tables. Sometimes, data is stored in PDF formats. Sometimes it is stored in XML formats, JSON formats, right? Sometimes, if you log on to Facebook or like Instagram, the data is not in a particular format only, because you are posting something, and somebody is commenting on it, and you are sharing something, and you are showing your emotions within with respect, I mean, in the form of emojis, right? So it is not always in an organized way, right? So that's the biggest problem, everybody faced when, when people are in on premises data warehouse. It is not supporting all data. It is supporting the organized data, but structured data, what I want to say, where you have definite structure, you have columns and you have rows, but it is not supporting all types of data. So this is what I have talked about. um, yeah, this is what I talked about: the structured data and unstructured data and semi-structured data. So structured data is in form of tables, and semi-structured data is in form of HTML formats and JSON formats and all those things. And unstructured data is in like PDFs, images, and videos, right? Right, the data that you see it in Instagram and Facebook and all those things are unstructured data. And on premises data warehouse was not able to solve that. So not able to solve to process all types of those data. So because of this disadvantages, right, and this cons that you have, people started moving to cloud enterprise data warehouses. So this is again like the first generation cloud data warehouses, where, right, you are able to, like, on premises data warehouses, you have problem with your hardware as well. You cannot scale it as you wanted. You need some maintenance activities and all things, which are somehow reduced when you move to cloud. So cloud actually, right, in cloud you don't need to worry about, see, you are, somebody is maintaining cloud for us. You are not physically buying some server and buying some memory and all those things and storing it one particular place. Instead of that, there are some cloud providers like AWS, Azure, right, Google, and all those things. They are providing. I mean, you just need to give them specification that, I need 10 TB of memory and right, 8 cores of processor. He would give you for. I mean, he would take money and he would give it to for you. Tomorrow, if you want to expand it like 20 TB of memory, it is easy, because their clusters are already built and they can easily expand it without any, with very minimal maintenance activities. And your users will always have access to the data. There will not be much maintenance activities and all those things that you are personally maintaining. Instead, somebody else is maintaining for you, right? So again, even though it solved that scalability issue, that infrastructure issue, uh, and the first generation cloud platforms, they were also not supporting all types of data, the structured and the unstructured and semi structured. And also, it was also not supporting the different users like data scientists who is doing a lot of computation activities within your data warehouse. So that's come that there comes like the other systems like Hadoop and data lake and all those things. um, you know this again, it is a big term, like everybody might have heard about it, right? Hadoop. So uh, where it was able to solve the problems to a very fast extent, but it was some, for some extent it was supporting all the users, even the data scientists. And it is a concept evolved to satisfy the needs of big data, right? So it was supporting all types of data, but and it was supporting, to some extent it is supporting all types of users. But as it is, the concept itself is built on a different methodology. You It is not a perfect SQL database. Even if you know SQL, it is very hard to actually write SQL and grab information of what it is stored. You need some knowledge on Java and other programming languages, so to actually access the data. And speed is also an issue, in this kind of systems. So to solve all these issues, we have moved to, moved to the cloud data platforms, the new next generation cloud data platforms. And Snowflake is in the top of the market at this moment, right? So it is solving all users, all data, fast answer. And also, if you just know the SQL, that's enough. You no need to know about any programming languages, like, right? The data is stored in, in how the data is stored in a regular databases, and you can write the simple SQLs to query the database data from the Snowflake. That's how, for a developer also, it is very easy to learn this tool. And also, and at the end, it is supporting lot of things which other systems are not supporting at this moment, right? So and any number of users can access the Snowflake at any point of time. There is no latency, and it is cloud, so you could scale whenever you wanted. And there are like it and it and more importantly, it supports all kind of data. It supports semi-structured, structured, and unstructured data, right? So I would take a pause at this moment and see if you have any questions.
Yeah, Anil, as you said that like in a data like Hadoop, they
Mm-hmm.
were using that JavaScript, Java coding,
Correct,
coding,
correct. Yeah.
right? For this, any coding knowledge need to required
So
to get
that's
the
the
data.
best part, right? You don't need to know about Java here. Here you just need to know about the simple SQL, right? So if you just know about like how to query the data from a data warehouse, a database, that's it, your job is done. You no need to know knowledge on Java and all those things. Has
Like,
provided an yeah, it has provided an opportunity that you can interact with this system through Python as well, through JavaScript as well. And so those are the other languages it is supporting. But if you just know SQL, that is more than enough, like to work on this particular platform. Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, go on.
as I said, like I have basic SQL queries
Yeah.
like we have an SQL concept like joins and
Mm-hmm.
in
Correct.
outer join, inner join, right? Like
Yes,
multi-complex
yes.
queries, like we have that knowledge is required for this.
Yeah, it is required because see, by the time I say SQL,
Yeah.
so it involves everything, right? Like you select different things, right? And joins and the other things like writing procedures and but it is
Okay.
SQL. Yeah, SQL is much easier than any other programming language. Okay, so it is simple, right? I mean, if you just do select star from table, you would be able to display all the data. And if you can write some complex queries, you can write, anything. You can write some sequence of queries and execute a particular task. But comparatively to any programming language, SQL is much simpler. But you need to master it. So in order to, learn this tool, that's the only prerequisite for this particular tool. But Rajshekar, if you want to like switch from your technology, right, you have to learn at least a one particular language. And learning right, JavaScript, or it is like a ocean, it is or Java or Python. Like there are like lot of module, lot of libraries and packages and all those things. But SQL is not that difficult. All that is needed is like some practice, install some kind of database within your system, and create some tables and practice on top of those tables. That is what that is needed. So for any people who want to switch to these platforms, uh, and this would be a little easy way than any other ways.
Yeah, got it. And is there any companies are presently using this Snowflake?
Oh, yeah, we're going to move to that slide as well. There are a lot of companies. I think Snowflake has gained like more than. Okay, let me show you that. Yeah, as you asked that question. So this is what Snowflake like. Snowflake, the clients who are already using the Snowflake, you have Adobe, and right, you have Sony, and you have Tune, Amino, right, Fitbit, and there are like this is an old slide. Right now, the count has moved to 3,000 plus, and the other giants, network giants like Cisco and all those things, they were also started using Snowflake. So it has like huge customer base at this moment. And if you know about Teradata and all those things, so those are the tools that has been used to build the data warehouse in a very efficient way in olden days. Right now, ever since the Snowflake is introduced, people started moving to the Snowflake from Teradata, from systems like Teradata and all those things. And there are a lot of migrations that are happening. Like they are moving from their old enterprise data warehouses, right, platforms, to this cloud platforms. And that's where it is creating the job opportunity, right? If you see this particular slide, right, so if you see the trend on how the jobs are with respect to the years. So this is where it stands. There is a huge demand on Snowflake at this moment. Okay, and these are also like other data cloud data warehouses, cloud data warehouse providers only. But Snowflake is standing out with respect to the other cloud providers because it has its own advantages, and the pricing model is also much cheaper. So any company want to execute their tasks and build their warehouses in a cheaper way, right? So Snowflake is allowing them. Snowflake provides, I mean, the cost that is involved for Snowflake is like much cheaper than other cloud providers like Amazon Redshift, Databricks, and Google BigQuery, right? So in this is the job trend, right? So if you see like compared it, this is a report from Naukri. And if you compare Amazon Redshift and Snowflake, so this green line is Snowflake. It is standing at a good rank than Amazon Redshift at this moment. So being in terms of CTC or in experience or industry, at any if you take any criteria, the Snowflake is standing at top with respect to the other tools. Okay, so that's how it is emerging in the market. And yeah, it has, I mean, it has a good career. I mean, if people choose Snowflake, they have like good career path, I could say that. Right. Anything else that you want to know about?
Nothing. I got it.
Yeah. So moving on, if we have some time, like I'll try to quickly finish these slides. So uh, so cloud, what is Snowflake? We have actually discussed about it. It's a SaaS offering, right? Software as a service, right? You don't need to install this software. You don't need a platform to install this software. You don't need an infrastructure to install the software. Everything is there in the cloud. You just buy it, and then there will be, just like how you access a Facebook, you would be able to access like through online the Snowflake as well, and you can perform all the operations that you wanted, right? At any point of time, if your business is growing, you could buy more space, you could buy more processing power seamlessly. Like there will not be a minute or 2 minutes gap also, all right, to increase from 10 TB to 20 TB of memory. So that's how it's emerging. And this is what, the modern architecture with Snowflake. Right now it is supporting three different clouds, like Google Cloud and Amazon Web Services and Azure. And it can grab information. It has ODBC and JDBC connectors where you can connect to any of the OLTP databases, or Internet of Things, or any web log data, any third party tools, any enterprise applications you can connect, and you can grab data into the Snowflake. And you could, any users can query the data for their own needs. It will give you the real time analytics, and give you the reports that can be very helpful to the high level management to take wise decisions for their business and all those things. So that's how it is placed at this moment. And uh, yeah, and as I said, like, you, once the data is stored in Snowflake, it can be used for any purpose. It can be used for building your data warehouses, for data engineering purposes, and data lake, where you can like get the data from various sources and dump it into your like Snowflake. And it can like the front end applications, like it can act as a backend for the front end application. Suppose you built some app, and at the backend you could have Snowflake at the backend, so as a databases, right? You could exchange the data between any systems, like Snowflake will be helpful, right, to once the data is stored, it you could exchange with any other system. And the data scientists, right, can, as it supports the unstructured data, semi-structured data as well, right? The data scientist can write their algorithms in machine learning. And the artificial in art and art and it is very much like useful in artificial intelligence areas as well. So that's how deep it is, the Snowflake. And right and definitely there's a good career path. And tool is emerging, and it already grabbed attention of lot of people who is already who already built their warehouses in other data warehouse platforms. And there are a lot of migrations which I'm seeing at this moment. right? So and I mean, I just need to go through this, right? If at all, like, you are interested to take this course, there would be an in detail sessions that are planned for more than like 25 sessions. And, we would help you, right? As this is not a software, you can't install it in your system. But what the best thing is that Snowflake itself is giving a 30-day free trial version, right? So you can just log into the Snowflake, sign up with Snowflake. We would help you on that. And you just need a credit card. No money would be deducted from the credit card for 30 days. And after that also, if you are interested to use it more, then it is pay per usage policy. Like if you use it, you would be billed. Otherwise, nothing would be billed, right? So again, like you could cancel at any point of time, and after 30 days also it would be auto cancelled. If you want to continue, then only you have to like extend it. Otherwise it would be auto cancelled, so there is no problem. And on this 30 days you would have access to all the features that is there in Snowflake. So you can learn it very easily, right? If you don't practice, you don't learn it, right? So it is allowing that lab kind of an environment to practice, so that the user can practice, right? So all the necessary materials and recordings would be given to you. And once after every topic, you would be given some assignments, so that you would be in sync with what I am saying to you. And right, at the end of the course, I would be talking about some live real time projects as well. And right, we would help you in preparing your resumes, and we would let you know like what are the frequently asked questions in the market on this Snowflake. And right, we'll help you find the positions as well and apply for it. So um, I mean, it is a great opportunity for you, to have the kind of material that we provide, and the kind of guidance that we provide on learning and building your career on this particular tool, right? So if you have like more questions, you could contact to this number. Anyways, you have the contact, right? So please reach out, and we'll see you soon. Right. Well, yeah. So that's it from our end this moment. And do you have any questions?
No, Anil. Thank you for the sessions, and I will connect soon.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
Thank you,
talking to
guys.
you. Yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.